Guys, welcome to my channel, and in today's video we are going to take a look at something completely different. So in today's video we are going to be doing assembly drawing, and with this we are going to start by drawing the parts over here. So we have our parts here, we have one here, we have another one, we have here. So we are going to, in this video, in this particular video, we are going to draw the parts, and in my next video we are going to see how to assemble them and then how to present them in the orthographic projection, indicating the front view, the side view, and the. So we are going to first start with this drawing over here, and with this drawing we can see that the distance from here to here is 140, and then from here to here is 15, from here to here is also 15, and then we have from here to here to be the distance from here to here, which is going to be 80, and then we have the distance from here to here to be 15, from here to here to be 54, here to be also be 15, and here to be 80. So we are going to draw that. So we are going to pick our line to, let's zoom in. We are going to draw a distance of 140, and then we are going to have the height here to be 15, the distance of 15 again, and then we cut it here. We do same for the left hand side. We are going to have 15, we have 15 here again, and then we cut it. So now we can see that there is an arc here which has a radius of 5, but then to get the distance from here to here before you draw your arc, we must first know that distance before we do the arc. And to know the distance, we know that from this line to this line, from this line over here to this line, is going to be the total summation of 15 plus 54 plus 15, which is going to give us 84. So the total distance from this line to this line is going to be 84. Now, since we know that from here to here is 84, now we know that here is 15, here is also 15, from here to here is 15, from here to here is also 15, which is going to give us 30. So we are going to add the 30 to the 84, which will give us 114. So now we have the distance here and here to be 114, and the total distance from here to here is 140. So to get the distance from here to here and then from here to here, we are going to subtract 114 from 114, which is going to give us 26. Now we are going to divide the 26 into 2, which will give us 13. So that means from here to here will be 13, and then from here to here will also be 13. So let's do that. We are going to have here to be 13, and then we go with a height of 80. Here is 15, come down 80 again. Here is 54, we go up again 80, we go with another 15, and then we come down 80, and then 13. So we are going to have it this way. Now we are going to do the arcs over here. We have one arc here, one here, one here. So we are going to do the arcs, but then let's change these lines to center 2. Yes. So we are going to have, the arc has a radius of 5, so you pick your fillet tool, you click on this line, and then you input your radius over here 5, and then you do this, pick your fillet tool again with the same radius of 5, you pick for here with the same radius of 5, you pick for here again with the same radius of 5. Measure a distance from the line here to here, which is going to be 54, and is going to give us this line over here. From this line here to here is 54, and then you dimension it with a distance of 12. So that means here is going to be 6, here is also going to be 6. So we are first going to draw a line from here to you to be 54, and then we cut it this way. Now we can trim here, and then, okay, let's trim this side rather first because I'll need a center line. Now, so we can use our offset tool over here. We offset this at a distance of 6, and then we offset here at a distance of 6, making it 12. So you trim this side, trim here, you trim here, and then you trim here. You are going to do the same for this side too. So you can just project this over here, and then you project this also, and then you have this also over here, and then you have something like this. You have this also. Okay, so we can have something like this. We have this also over here. Now we trim all the lines. We trim here, we trim here, trim here. Trim here. Oh, sorry. You get that. We trim here, we trim this, we trim this also. Yeah, so we can have this side and this side to be our center too. But then let me first do it this way. I pick my line to pick my line to I trim here. So I'll trim here. Good. So we can change this to center 2. And then we have this as heading 2. Heading 2. So yes, that is it for this drawing. Now, when we are done, we are going to move on to draw this drawing over here. So with this, we know that the distance from here to here, which is the distance from here to here, to be 40. And if that's the case, if we have the distance from there to there to be 40, we also have a circle in there which has a diameter of 12. It has a diameter of 12. And from this point to the center of that circle is 55. Now, we know from here to here to be 40, and then inside we know that from here to here is 15, which means half of it is going, yes, which means half of it is going to be 7.5, 7.5. Now, let's draw before we come to the calculation in that section. Let's have this. So we are going to have our 40, our distance of 40 over here, and we have the height to be 80, the total height to be 80. We have 40, and then we have 80 again. We have 80 again. So we are going to have this. Now, we know that from here to here is what? 80. And then from here to here is going to be 15. We are going to use this distance over here. So this way. So from here to here is 15. From here to here is 15. So we have our 80. Now we are going to draw our 15 attached to it with a distance of 40, and then we cross it this way. Now let's draw our center line. So our center line is going to be here. This is going to be our center line. When we are done, we know that the distance from here to this center is 55. So let's pick our line tool. We stand on this line with a distance of 55 and then we cross it this way. Now we can trim this line. Now we have the center of the circle, the small circle in there, which has a diameter of 12. So you pick your circle diameter 2, you stand here and then you put your 12. We are going to have this. Now when we are done, we know that from our center line, when we stand at our center line to our right is going to be 7.5, and we stand to our left also is going to be 7.5. So 7.5 plus 7.5 is going to give us the total distance, which is 15. So we are going to do that. You can use your offset tool, press spacebar, 7.5, and then you offset to the left also 7.5. You press enter. Now you trim this part, you trim here, you trim here, you trim here also. So we are going to have a look this way. After that, we know that there is an arc over here and another arc over here which has a radius of 5. So we are going to do that. So you pick your radius, you pick your fillet. We already have our radius inputted here as 5, so there's no need to change it again. We can do here, stand here, click here, fillet again, you stand here and then you click here. Now we are going to have a look this way. So I would prefer to put my dimensions so it will be easier for us. So from here to here was 140, and then from here to here was 15. From here to here also was 15. From here to here was 15. From here to here was 54. And then from here to here was also 15. Good. And then we know our radius over here. So for the radius, you have to zoom in. You know our radius over here was 5. So we can put it here. Now let's dimension this side also. We know from here to here was 40. And then from here to here was 15. We have our radius also. We have our radius over here to be 5. And then we have our smaller circle, which has a diameter of a smaller circle here, which has a diameter of 12. So we are going to have it this way. And we know that the distance from here to here was 55. So we can put that this way. And the total distance from here to here was 80. Good. So we are going to have it this way. Now we are going to move to the next part, which we are going to draw this. So with this, we know that the distance, the total length over here is 100. Yeah, so the total distance over here is going to be 100. And then again, the distance from here to here is 9. The distance from here to here is 9. So this side is going to take the distance of this key over here. So that means here is going to have a distance of 20. So here is going to be of a distance of 20. Here is going to be 9. Here is going to be 100. The total length is going to be 100. Here to here is going to be 17. And then the inner distance from here to here is going to be 12. So let's do that. We are going to have our we're going to have our 20, and then from here is going to be 9. We have 20, and then we have this. So now we know that from the center here to this side, from the center, let me draw to this side, and then from here to here is 100. Good. And then the total inner distance was 12, so that means it's going to be 6 to the left and 6 to the right. So we can have our 6 over here, we cut it down, and then we offset, or we can just take our line to again, we draw 6, and then we have it this way. It's supposed to, they're supposed to touch. Good. So now we, as you can see, we have here to be our center line. So let me draw this, the center line again. So this is going to be our center line. We change it to center 2. And then we have this. And they said there was a distance of 17. So you can have this, you measure 17, and then you cut it through. Now you trim. You trim this line, you trim here, you trim here, and then you trim here. So you have your 17 right here. Let's dimension this. In dimensioning, we know from here to here is going to be 17. Our total distance here is going to be 100. We know from here to here to be 9. And then from, okay, so a distance wasn't given here, but then from I think this, so from here to here to be 20. Let me do this dimension now. So from here to here to be 100. So this is how it's going to look like. So let me change the color to make it visible. I'm going to make it green, good, so it will be more visible. Good. So yes, so this is how it's going to be, and let me make the center line also green. Okay, let me make that blue. Yeah, so this is how it's going to be. Now we are going to take this drawing also. We are going to take this drawing, and with this drawing we can tell that from the distance from here to here is 44, and the distance from here to here is 40. So we are going to do that drawing. So we are going to have from here to here to be 44, and then with a height of 40, 44, and then we cut this over here. Now when we are done, you pay attention over here. We are going to draw the lines over here, but then this dimension here is supposed to be from here to here, is supposed to give us 20 instead. Yeah, so this dimension here is not 24, it's 20. So we are supposed to have from here to here to be 20. So if from here to here is 20, that means from here to here is 10, and then from here to here is also 10. So we do that. We can start by using the offset tool. We can offset 10, we offset 10 again, we offset 10 again. Now when we are done, we can have here and here to be our hidden lines. We can also have this to be center too. Now we are going to, if you look at this diagram, there is a line that touches from this line. It's supposed to touch this line. So yes, there is a line that touches this line to the top. And we know from here to here is what? 20. So since we have that distance to be 20, we are going to have from here to here to also be 30. So we are going to use a total distance of 50. So we are going to have, but then before you do that, we know that the distance from this line we are about to draw, which is the 50, the distance from this point to this point is 15. So if here is 15, we are going to have 44 minus 15, which will be 29. And then the 29 is going to be divided by 2 to get the distance from here to here and the distance from here to here. So the 29 divided by 2, we are going to have 14.5. So the distance from here to here is 14.5. The distance from here to here is 14.5. And then you draw your line with a length of 50. So we can first choose to trim this line, and then we have our distance of 14.5 over here. And then we also have our distance of 14.5 over here. Now we are going to draw a line from here to touch this center line, and then a line again from here to touch this center line, which is 20. Now we are going to extend it with a distance of 30. We cut it with a distance of 15, and then another distance of 30. So this is how this is going to look like. Now we take our dimension. First of all, let me change the color to orange. So we are going to dimension this. Good. So now after doing this, we are going to draw this diagram over here. And then again, we are going to draw this. Then we draw this also. So in doing that, we are first going to, first of all, let's draw this one. So as we can see, that one has a length of 20 and a height of 2. So, sorry, a height of 20 instead. We are going to have 20, and then we have 2, 20 again, and then we have 2. So we can change this to color red to make it visible. Let me put my dimension. 2. Good. So now we are going to draw this over here. And in drawing this, the dimension of this is right here. So we are going to have a total distance of 30, which is here 30. From here to here is 30. And then we also have a distance inside again from here to here, which is also going to be 20. We are going to have a distance of 20, and then we are also going to have from this hidden line to this hidden line to be a distance of 12, and then from here to here to also be 5. So let's draw it. We are going to have from here to here to be 30. You have 5, 30, and then 5 again. Now we have another one with a distance of, okay, so let's first start drawing it this way. We are going to have our distance of 20 first, and then from here to here is 20, so it's also going to, here is a square, so it will be 20, 20, 20. So we are going to do it this way. We will have 20 again, we have 20, and then 20. Now we also have a distance at the top here, which is 30. So if here the box here is 20, then here is going to be 5, here is also going to be 5 to make it 30. 5. So now the straight line here is 30. Then it has a height of 5. From here to here is 30, and then 5. So we are going to have a look this way. Now we are going to draw our center line too. So we are going to offset our center line. On the right hand side we'll have a distance of 6, and on the left hand side we'll have a distance of 6 too. And then we trim. We indicate our hidden lines. Change the color, let's make it yellow. Yes, but then in our drawing we are going to, if you see here we have 2 of this, so that means we are going to duplicate this by copying it and then pasting it again to get 2. So we are going to have 2 of this over here. Now we are left to draw the last thing, which is going to be this diagram over here. This diagram over here. So we have a circle having a diameter of 40 and an inner one having a diameter of 20. And the distance from the center of the circle to the top here is 50. The arcs have radius of 5, and then again there is a smaller semicircle in here, so the distance from the center to the center here is 20, and the distance with the height is also 10. So we are going to do that. First, let's draw our circles. Let's draw our circles over here. Has a diameter of 40 and an inner one having a diameter of 20. So when we are done with this, let me place this well. Put it here. Okay, so when we are done with this, we know that the distance from the center to the top side is 50, which was given over here. From here to here is 50. So we are going to, from the center to the top is 50. I'm going to have this also from here to here to be 50. And then from, you can use the offset tool also from here to here to be 50. And then you cut it along. Now when we are done with a semicircle here, we know that the distance from the center to that side is 35. So we are going to have our distance of 35. We cut it through. Now we can trim this line and then we work with this horizontal line. So they said from the center here to the center here is a distance of 20. That means if you use the center from the bigger circle to this side, on your right you have a distance of 10, and on your left you have a distance of 10, which the total is going to give you a distance of 20. So to do this, we can first do it this way. We draw a distance of 10 over here, and then we cut it, and then we draw another distance of 10 over here, and then we cut it. So the total distance from here to here is going to be 20. Now we trim this. We only need this line for the circles over there. So now the distance from here to here is 10, and from here to here is 10, which is 20. So we are going to pick our diameter 2, and then again they said the height of it is what? 10. So we pick our circle diameter. We stand here, we draw a circle with a diameter of 10. We draw a circle on the right hand side with a diameter of 10 also. Now when you are done, you pick the line tool to join the quadrants from here to here, and then you join the quadrants from here to here. When you are done, you trim to make it look nice. Trim here, you trim this side, you trim here, you trim here, you trim here. Now you are going to have a look in this way. Let me trim the center lines and do it well. So there is going to be our center line. We have this side too. Good. So oh, sorry. Good. So we have this over here. Let me cut this line out. Yeah. So let me cut this line. Cut this line. Good. So we are going to have this, and we do this center too. We change it to center lines. So we are going to have a look this way. Now we are going to do our radius of 5. When we are done, we dimension everything. So we can pick our fillets. We already has a radius of 5. You click this side and then you click here. Take your fillet again. You click here and then you click here. Now we are going to do our dimensioning. We have here to be 5. And our distance from here to here to be 20. And the distance from here to here to be 10. Good. So let's draw the center line well. Let's clean this. We have our center line. Nice this way. Change it to center 2. Change this also to center 2. I'm gonna make it light blue. Then we change the color. Okay, you let me keep it, let me maintain it this way since the lines are visible and we know our distance from here to the center here is 35. Let me take it this way. It's 35. And the total distance from here to here is 50. The diameter of the circle here is 40. And the diameter of this smaller circle here is 20. So let me dimension this also. 30, 5, 20. Let me 30, 5, and then 20. Yeah, so we have all our necessary parts, but then again we have one more thing to draw, and then we are done with the parts needed for our assembly. So let me zoom out. We are left to draw this. So this also has a distance of 20 and here to be 9. So we are going to have 20 we are going to have our 20 here, and then here to be 9. We have our 20 again, and then we cut this over here. The hidden lines over here we are going to use from here to here is going to be 12. So meaning here is going to be 6 and here is also going to be 6. So we are going to have that over here. We can pick our line tool. Okay, let's use the offset. So if here is going to be 6 and the down is also going to be 6, we are going to be left with a distance of 8, meaning from here to here will be 4 and from here to here will also be 4. So we can put our 4 over here. We put our 6, another 6 again, and then the last part is going to be our 4. Now we change these lines also to heading 2, and then we change the color. Let's say maybe red. So we are done drawing all parts for the assembly. So in my next video we are going to look at how to assemble these parts, and then we also look at how to project this on the orthographic projection, indicating the front view, the side view, and then the plan. Yeah, so once again, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you in my next video. Bye.